What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on another installment of Rob Reads You Things That You Probably Don't Want to Read Yourself, we're going to be taking a look at DE's latest article, The Temporary Future of Warframe Trials. Now, the big reason that I wanted to go ahead and tackle this now is mainly because of the fact that, as you know, today, the Shrine of the Eidolon update drops, and that's going to kind of introduce a new thing into the loot pools. Ignore the fact that this tweet says tomorrow, because it is 2:10 a.m. right now, and legitimately, I'm just getting around to recording this now, snuggy and all, you know? But I figured we would go ahead and take a look at the article, discuss some of the things that are going on in there, because there are going to be some interesting things for some of the newer players out there that need to get their hands on some Arcanes. So let's go ahead and take a look. Greetings, Tenno. First of all, I can't believe we have a game full of 5+ years of content that is continuing to grow and shape into what we call Warframe today. To get right to the point of what you're about to read, on February 28th, all trials, Law of Retribution, Nightmare, and the Jordas Verdict will be temporarily put to rest, much like the Dark Sector Armistice for the time being. This will first happen on PC, then soon after on consoles due to it needing a process. If you recall, Dark Sectors were a system that we were not happy with, and maintenance on a system like such isn't constructive to continue changing when bigger goals are on the plate. So basically what they're saying is, we've got like all of these new landscapes that we need to take care of, we've got new Eidolons that we're trying to release, and having to maintain the trials, which not a lot of people are playing, is a bit counterproductive to them trying to move forward with what they're doing. It's like they're leaving behind like old baggage. They're like, we'll deal with you later, we gotta take care of the new stuff. On May 18, 2015, Update 16.0, we introduced the Law of Retribution trial, with the Jordas Verdict hot on its trail on October 29, 2015. In Update 17.9.1, these both 4 to 8 player trials with multiple phases, puzzles, and tons of mayhem, the good kind. As players, this was a daily source of rallying teamwork in order to gain that coveted Arcane. The dissection of ultimate tactics to conquer the trial was something we welcomed, and we were thrilled to watch develop over time. On numerous dev streams, we have mentioned / discussed the future of trials. On DevStream 75, Scott mentioned, we are looking to repurpose existing raid content to make the game mode more accessible for low-level players, while also preparing them for this endgame content as they continue to progress. And a lot of that was actually due to the fact that the elevator mode on the Jordas Verdict was really popular. I thought that was really cool, and I thought that we would see some sort of variation of that in the future, but unfortunately we didn't really ever get to that. And we've decided it is time to address that. In an upcoming mainline update this week on PC, Shrine of the Eidolon, we will be adding Arcanes as rewards to the Terror List, specific variants to be determined on the plains of Eidolon. Taking down the Terror List mirrors the tactics of a trial in terms of teamwork and communication, but can also be done as a lower level player if properly prepared. Adding trial Arcanes as a reward from the Terror List is the first step in the overall plan to temporarily put trials to rest. Note that they said temporarily, okay? So trials isn't dead, you guys. Please note that we are also looking at buffing some Arcanes. Stay tuned. This is not an end to trials. Our designers have put an incredible amount of blood, sweat, and tears into creating, fixing, and maintaining trials, not to mention the blood, sweat, and tears you as a community have put into them. The upkeeping of the trials in a world where so many bigger plans are in motion are taking much needed brain power and time. You guys do have to keep in mind that there are only so many human resources they have, and that's the thing that I always kind of want to point out. We tend to talk about resources, but we don't really refer to them as what they are. They're human beings all working, and really they've only got the studio that they've got to work with. If they pull people off of the mainline projects to work on bugs in trials or to fix things in trials, yada yada yada, basically they're taking away from the manpower or woman power or beautiful in between power that is tackling all of the big things that we're supposed to be seeing soon, kind of like Korra, Damage 2.5, the new Venus landscape, all of that kind of stuff. So that is a sad reality of it. If something's not getting played as much, they do need to pull resources from that. As a warm thank you for almost 2+ year commitment to trials, everyone who has participated up to its temporary closure will receive a fancy new version of the Savati Sakara badge, name to be determined. One separate from the Sakara you already receive upon completing lore. We hope you wear this proudly, knowing you are inevitably helping shape and change Warframe. I'll talk about that in a minute. Now that you have this knowledge, where do we go from here? We welcome this thread as a home of constructive feedback to where you would improve trials. Raid School Bus, I'm looking at you. We have some top-level ideas to revisit the distant future in terms of redesign, but welcome the ideas of a 2+ year mechanic that a good amount of Tenno are familiar with. P.S. If you didn't hear, we're working on some Dark Sector mayhem as hinted here. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and just leave that as a link down in the description box, because you really can't hear it when I played it a little bit earlier, but basically what they're saying is they're actually actively looking at bringing back Dark Sectors, and Rebecca had mentioned there's going to be some mayhem that goes along with it. As you guys know, our Lord and Savior Pablo is very, very excited about this as well, so I'm kind of like, okay, we got mayhem and Dark Sectors. I don't even know where they would, like, is it gonna be PvP again? Is it gonna be PvPE again? Like, how are they gonna mix it up? How is Dark Sectors coming back? Because I would really love to see what they're gonna end up doing with the whole Solar Rail system. But Pablo's excited. I have all the faith in the world in Pablo. Rebecca is like an amazing tastemaker, so honey, you know what? I'm gonna put my faith in you. But in conclusion, we are incredibly grateful for years of love and commitment towards our trials. Just know that this is not the end. Megan also mentioned DevStream 106 this Friday will have a raw view of our decision to temporarily remove trials, which means maybe they gonna argue on air. I wanna see, because they said raw view. That means that, you know, they haven't had time to chat, so you never know, there might be a little bit of a dev throwdown. I want to see this. Oh, maybe they're gonna point fingers. Oh, I'm excited. We as humans and also players of Warframe feel bad about having the trials out there unsupported, but we can feel your emotions on the decision to temporarily remove them as well. Now, for those of you guys out there, I do have to confess that I actually really, really like Trials. I really did like Trials. I enjoyed my time there. I especially, and this is unpopular opinion, I love the Jordis Verdict trial. That was a shit ton of fun. Of course, I was always the ball handler, and as you guys know, I love myself some Arcwing. So Arcwing and balls all in the same place, yes, that is my zone. I'm totally feeling that. And I feel like I have maybe a very different perspective of it from other people because of the fact that legitimately when I ran any of the trials, it was me and 3 other people. It was a 4-man group every single time that we went in, and legitimately we knocked them out in about 20 minutes apiece. Like, we were very, very efficient. I like look at them side-eye. If we took more than 25 minutes on Lore, the Nightmare version of that, I was like, y'all are slacking tonight. What's happening? What is going on? But legitimately, we were like a well-oiled machine. So every experience that I had with it was extremely positive. I actually didn't run into any bugs but 2. In the whole history of me doing raids, there was literally 2 times where it bugged out and we weren't able to complete it. But I can see how it is for other people who might have not necessarily had the greatest experience with it, either because they weren't on a team that was as organized, or maybe they did just happen to get the really, really bad RNG of super bad bugs. Because, like I said, everything for me pretty much was spotless, except for those 2 runs. So I can definitely see how those kind of experiences would end up deterring new players from playing it, but the maintenance on upkeeping it for the few players that were playing it kind of does sting a little bit, especially when they're working on bigger and better things like the landscapes. And as you guys saw recently, because of the fact that the relics are currently, the unvaulted relics are currently only found in Cetus bounties, it's very important for them to be paying attention to optimizing Cetus, to optimizing the plains, all of that kind of stuff. Because if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have heard some people having issues with Cetus and the plains. Now, again, personally, from me and the other people that I've associated with, we've had no problems whatsoever. I don't know if the, complaints are outliers, or I don't know if maybe we're, maybe the complaints are outliers, or maybe we're the outliers that are having no issues. But it does seem like DE could spend some time better optimizing it. I'm sure it's already really as optimized as they can make it, but maybe there are other things that they could do to it to make it a little bit of a cleaner experience, because, we have vaulted relics that we all need to start grinding out and kind of like working on getting to get into our stores. We do have 2 months of that, so hopefully we'll see some improvements there. So that is an important thing for them to focus on, not as much things like the trials where they've really blatantly stated that people just aren't really playing them except for a small crew of people. So that's kind of like one of the things. Plus, landscapes are their new big things, so it just makes sense for them to really focus their stuff there. The only thing that I do have to kind of point out, and this is old man Rob coming out. You gonna give us a Sekala? You gonna give us a little shoulder badge? Like, I'm gonna throw some salt out here real quick. So we got a maximum of 3 Arcanes a day. Okay, DE, we got a maximum of 3 Arcanes a day. Now you're attaching the drops of Arcanes to Eidolons, which you can easily, and I'm telling you right now, from my point of view, we were doing 5 or 6 Eidolons a night casually. Like, we weren't rushing. We weren't, you know, running out to like, oh my god, we got to get back to the zone so we can zone back in. You know, it wasn't none of that. We were like, oh, okay, like, what are you doing later? What you up to tonight? We're just chilling. You know what I mean? So you're telling me that people can get 5 to 6 Arcanes in a single night run. And we, back in the day when we were on our grind, were only getting 3 max a day, time capped. That's it. I am gonna reveal some of my feelings here, and I feel like DE is really not loving on any of the older players here. Like, we're just getting a Sekala, you know, when we ground out our Arcanes the time-limited way. And now we're just gonna be able to get like 5 to 6 Arcanes every night cycle. And you're buffing some Arcanes too? And you're giving all the old folks who had to grind out all of their old Arcanes on a time cycle. And we had to craft the key. Too. And you just gonna give us a Sekala? Could we get like a nice Sayandana or a nice armor set or something to commemorate the fact that we went through the trials and tribulations of the old days? Because legit, you're handing out these Arcanes like candy now. You literally had stated that you want newer players, lower level players, if properly prepared, should be able to take these on, to get their hands on Arcanes. I thought Arcanes were endgame items. What's happening? Like, Arcanes? I thought Arcanes were endgame items. I guess they're not these days, DE. So that's my personal stance on it. I'm like, okay, I mean, are you gonna put a cap on how many Arcanes people can get a day? I mean, okay, and hey, listen, the more Arcanes for the universe, the better. But don't try to give us a little shoulder piece and say that, like, oh, you'll be good. You helped shape it. I get it. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you for the gesture. But we were literally sitting there waiting on that timer every day, taking our nights out and waiting for, I'm like, okay, well, if we start now, by the time that we finish, we will have completed it once a timer clock came out. We were checking numbers. DE, and the best you gonna give us is a shoulder piece? Okay. You also go ahead and work on that new login system. You know, you don't care about how many days we log in or not, but you know, that's just me being a little salty. You don't need to worry about that. Regardless, let me know how you guys feel about this. Are you guys gonna end up missing the trials? Or are you like saying, hey, that's fine, go ahead, take them, redo them? Are you excited about the return of dark sectors? Are you guys hyped about the new Eidolons and possibly being able to get your hands on a literal buttload, a little cavalcade of Arcanes from these new Eidolons? Go ahead and leave all of that in the comments below. And that about does it for me. Stay tuned, because there's gonna be a shit ton of stuff that is coming out today. So I hope to see you back here, and we'll chat about all of the cool, neat stuff, including the reworks, the buffs, like everything. So I hope to see you guys soon, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo snuggie. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!